welcome back to Dakar Daily. It's day 2, we're still in Pisco, so it's still all about the sand, but today they have a longer loop.
Absolutely. Yesterday, we only saw a short 31-kilometre super special to ease the competitors into this year's Dakar. Today, things really get underway. Over 250 kilometres of special stage. Now, normally, it kicks off with the bikes. Unusually, though, today, it was all about the cars.
Bienvenidos a Perú Dakar. Welcome to Perú Dakar.
Oh, it's incredible. You can't get anything better than the Dakar, all the cars, all the people, great tourist attraction.
You know, this is actually my first time in a Dakar. It's just exciting. We are here in South America and we are hosting this thing. We are very proud, you know, to be doing that. It's Dakar time in Peru.
A big day for all categories with over 250 kilometres of brutal desert dunes to deal with. The cars kicked the day off, and the big story, America's Bryce Menzies out of this year's Dakar Rally. A huge crash near the start of the stage, destroying his two-wheel drive Mini and any chances of victory.
Yeah, it was definitely the hardest crash we've ever been in. You know, luckily, look at the cab. There's not a single thing wrong with the cab, so we're safe. You know, Bryce and I, we're good. But it's the car. That's the car for you, so.
Bryce, I don't really know what to say. A great start yesterday, gone out and by all accounts had a big off, and your 2018 Dakar is over. First of all, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. I was more worried about my co-driver. Ended up breaking his ankle. So just really bummed. This team did so much work, so much hard work to build a new car, and the car was amazing. We had a really good run yesterday, and started the day off. We were running on pretty much a graded road, and Pete called out a double caution, and I checked up and I saw it, and I thought it was just a smaller bump than it was. And when we hit it, it just unloaded the rear, went to the front bumper, and I think we flipped 6 or 7 times. So not what I wanted to do for my first Dakar. The emotions I'm going through, I don't even know right now. It's just, I feel really bad for the whole team, how much work they put in to get this car here, and everybody behind me. So nothing I could do now besides work as hard as I can to come back next year and come back strong.
Problems too for overnight leader Nasser Al-Attiyah. He lost nearly 15 minutes with co-driver Mathieu Baumel sick throughout the entire stage.
Yeah, it was a hard day, you know, because we opened the road and all the way. This was not easy, and we get 2 times stop, you know, because Mathieu he's sick. He doesn't feel good, you know, and but okay, I think it's good to be here in the finish, and we are quite happy, you know. Yes, I know we lose the time and because to open the road, but okay, I think tomorrow it will be, I hope will be better day for us.
Instead, it was the Peugeots who struggled on day 1, remember, bouncing back today. Cyril Desprez winning the stage by nearly 50 seconds from his teammate and last year's winner, Stefan Petterhansel. Cyril, you said yesterday you're not a sprinter, you're a marathon man. You've proved that today. Incredible job out on today's stage.
Yeah, well, you don't forget that we are 2 in the car, and particularly David make a good job in terms of navigation. Not easy to find always the waypoint. And for myself, yeah, I'm quite happy leaving Europe a few days ago, leaving the cold and the snow. I came here in Peru and directly feeling good. That's important for the rest of the race.
So it's Peugeot back on top, Nasser Al-Attiyah in his Toyota with some work to do. In the bikes, it was Joan Barreda who took the stage win, nearly 3 minutes faster than Adrian Van Beveren on the Yamaha. Van Beveren Mr. Consistent in the dunes so far though, finishing second on the first 2 stages of this year's Dakar. Matthias Volkner led the KTM boys back to the Bivouac today, the Austrian rider third fastest in the desert sun.
Today was a new experience for us, the car starting first time in front of us. And yeah, it's helping a lot for the navigation, but here in Peru the navigation is so tricky because you have so many canyons and valleys and everything looks more or less the same, and I think it's a really tough challenge tomorrow, but I hope I can manage.
Meanwhile, overnight leader Sam Sunderland only managed 7th fastest in the dunes today, which means the British rider drops to 4th overall in the bikes. Here are the results for the bike and car categories from today's stage. And here are the current overall standings. Head to redbull.com/Dakar for full results and much more. Well, massive action out on the stage today. Bryce Menzies learning a harsh lesson early on in this year's Dakar. Now, as we said earlier, we are still in Pisco. It's a loop stage, so we haven't travelled anywhere since yesterday. And you went for a wander round last night.
Oh my God. This is like one big heaving bivouac city. It doesn't matter where you look, there's something going on. Drivers, co-drivers, mechanics, there's always a big, big bubble of activity in this humongous bivouac city. It's the end of day one, the sun has set, and if you thought that everything might have calmed down in the world of Dakar, you are very, very much mistaken. As you can see behind me, everything is still thriving in this massive bivouac tent city. Over my shoulder there, now this queue that you can see here, this has been going for an hour. This is the catering area. You can see just how busy that is. Over 3,500 meals a day are made here in Bivouac City. Over my shoulder now, this is the officials giving the drivers briefing ahead of tomorrow. That is just 2 things that are happening. Depending on what stage it is, the bivouacs vary from size to size, but you can generally assume that it is absolutely massive. It's divided, of course, into the cars, the trucks, the quads, the bikes, and they are all coming in at completely different times. Then the whole place is a hive of activity all the way through the night before they all kick off the next day. Like we said, nothing stops in the bivouac, and that is certainly the case here in Team Coronel, who do appear to still be doing rather a lot of work. Boys, what's going on?
Work. Some work to do on the car, technical stuff, just some details to make the car a little more consistent. We had some small difficulties today, so yeah, you have to make it better, because tomorrow is how many kilometers?
I don't know, you have the road book.
So this means I will navigate, as I understand. Something like 279 or 300 kilometers.
Now we had some issues with the heat, so we had to stop all the time, so we are all the way in the back. So tomorrow we're gonna have fun.
Mark, end of day one, what are your thoughts?
End of day one, we are very happy. You know, the rally already started because, you know, the scootering and all the preparation, it take a lot of energy. And at least now here we are in the middle of the desert, the fantastic place. Today our competitors, they discovered the dunes from Peru. Was the first contact on the very fantastic place in the dunes. And they start to see what they expect for the next day, no? So we are happy. Riders, maybe they expect a little bit easier stage for the first one, no? So, but it's the Dakar, so it cannot be easy and have to be tough, and our philosophy is clear from the beginning, so tomorrow they will find a tough day.
There we go, that's the end of the Bivouac Tour. It's the end of day one and there's still so much going on. Can you believe that this Bivouac circus is going to continue for another 2 weeks?
It really is incredible, the bivouac at the Dakar. It's this constant 24/7 hive of activity. Everybody working on the cars, the quads, the trucks, the bikes, just to look for that final 1/10 of a second, and that's really what wins and loses the Dakar. Now, for those of you who were watching last year, we followed Lyndon Poskett in the Malay Moto class, and you caught up with Scott Britnell competing this year.
He is such an inspiring character. He's ex-SAS of 25 years. He's the world record holder for the fastest crossing of Australia. He's so skilled, but man, do those guys have it tough. When you think of the Dakar experience from a competitive point of view, you might think about the factory teams, the KTMs, the Peugeots, the Toyotas, the Hondas. And you might imagine that they come in, they get out of their car, their vehicle, hand it over to the factory, and they're able to take time out, chill in their hospitality unit. That in itself is a mammoth task even for those guys. So now imagine what it's like for the Malay Motor guys. 15 days all by themselves.
It's probably more of a traditional approach to Dakar in that you just have your bike, you're responsible for all the work on your bike, and you've got a small box of spare parts and gear to get you through the race, and it's all up to you from there. If I'm only going to get to do Dakar once, I want the full experience. So Moto is what it is for me. This is my first experience with Dakar as well, so I'm a rookie, and everything is new to me. So to take it on as a rookie and go Moto is probably, you know, as tough as it's going to get. It's really a personal challenge. It's not about trying to beat the other competitors. It's trying to survive myself. A typical day would be an early start, get up, having prepared the bike the day before, just confirm everything's good, and roll out. I guess making sure that I've packed my tent and everything up, ready for the bivouac to move. So that little red box behind me is all packed. My tent's packed up, my gear bag's packed up, and roll away and do the stage. Come back from the stage, however long that takes, get straight in, try and get cool, get some nutrients on, and then get stuck into preparing the bike for the next day. Hopefully not have to fix too many broken parts. It's just trying to analyse and get the inside concept of what it is that they're trying to achieve with the roadbook, because the roadbook is there to generate challenge for the navigator, I suppose, and in this case it's the rider/navigator. So yeah, trying to do that at speed is not easy. After having spent 3 years preparing mentally and raising the budget to be able to get here, to get to finish would mean closure. I guess the elation of that closure, and then either maybe gear up to try and convince people to sponsor me to come back again, or perhaps move on from there and see what's next.
There we go, that's it. 2 fantastic days here in Pisco, and 2 really challenging days. I feel like they really set the tone for what looks to be a particularly difficult Dakar.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Sam Sunderland and the KTM has set himself up perfectly in the bikes. You know, yes, he's dropped back a little bit, but it's all about strategy. You know, he's got a good road position going into tomorrow, so don't read too much into today's performance. Cyril Desprez, on the other hand, what a job, and for me, an outside favourite to win this year's Dakar. He won the Silkway Rally last year. He's doing a great job, and he's perfectly positioned now to go out and just keep punching in quick time.
Yeah, and Nasser?
Nasser, yeah, he's got some work to do, you know. Obviously, Matau was a little bit ill today, so hopefully he gets better tomorrow. But we know the Toyota's quick, we know Nasser's quick, so yeah, don't discount him.
So next up, we've got 2 more days in the bivouac as we travel to San Juan de Marcona. So make sure you join us. Follow us on all the hashtags, Rally Dakar, Red Bull Motorsports. See you tomorrow.